All right, so we should be live. Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome back to the stream. Let me just put the chat and make sure everything is working. Perhaps we could put some music at the start. It was okay. Just a little. Put this on the side. Drink some coffee. If you can hear me well, can you confirm the chat? Yeah, there is something off. Oh. Just oh, hi Deep. Okay, I'm glad you can hear me. Hey, hello Max. Good evening, guys. Okay, let me tell you what we're doing today then. And I also want to introduce Deep. So I'm hosting the stream today with Deep from VR Division. We both work on the tutorials and the editing and the lessons you see on YouTube together. And yeah, say hello, Deep. Are you on the stage? Okay. Once you decide to say hello, you can say hello. I can bring you if you want. But hey to everyone. Antonio, hello. I hope all of you had a great week and are enjoying your weekend. Okay, thank you. For me, definitely yes. I have been working all day with HLSL experiments to experiment with shaders with Unreal Engine, and I'll make tutorials about these soon. So this stuff here is generated with code, and there are many cool, interesting things. And I'm also learning geometry tools and procedural PCG. So there are lessons coming on that, but today's tutorials or today's live stream is not about that. It's about how I'm building this environment, the Blockout vase, and I want to bring in a couple of models here before then I decided, okay, let's go live and do it together and talk about the 3D modeling tools in Unreal Engine, how we're using them. So for anyone who's a beginner in the modeling tools or if you didn't experiment with these, or if you're just interested in the process of just blocking out simple buildings, I hope you enjoy today's stream. Mycon, hello, hello. So it's good to see all of you guys. I hope that today is gonna be awesome. So I usually just want to adjust the mic cable. I need to bring boom arm or something to make my life easier. Okay. So sometimes I work outside and I bring things in. Let me decide where this will go. I have my custom shortcut. If you right click any object, hide selected, show selected, hide all show all actors. These are kind of different. I have this, so every time you see me hiding something, I just want to see like with, without. So I hide selected, then I press Ctrl H to show everything. And yeah, so I sometimes deselect an object just to see what's happening, then Control Z to select it again. And I'll set a location for this building. It's not gonna be as detailed. Or who knows. Press F to focus selection. And I think this looks like a nice building. And I have a bookmark. No, it's not a nice building. For my camera, from any view, you can have a bookmark. Let's say I like this view, so I can press Ctrl 9 on the keyboard and I save the bookmark. So I have a bookmark for 0 to switch every time to this view. And I like this. And this is even like here is nice. So right now what I'm doing is just basic shapes, scattering them around and exploring concepts from my favorite game. The whole goal is to have fun. Sandy, yo, what's up? Exandrin, hello. Square Break Make Games. Hey. It's a busy stream today, so many names and people. How are you guys? How was your week? Any projects are you working on? And yeah, by the way, one thing I've added to this map because I'm trying to have fun is I found somewhere online, you know, just running, but it's so laggy. So buggy, sorry. So the goal here is to, let's see, can we pull it off? Nope, we cannot. To have a character that can run, slide, jump, just like, I don't plan on making game, at least now, but I plan on making fun environment to run around, and I'm exploring procedural content generation ways to work with the world. And this guy is supposed to do wall running, but he's just good in embarrassing me. Here we go. Yeah, the worst wall run ever. Look, bruh, you're running on the floor, but acting on the wall. Yeah. So that's cool. Stealthy boy. I have these things here. So there are detailed videos about all this. I have been editing with the boys. They're on the way. No, this is the basic one. Okay, let's continue, because really I want today to talk more about like Boolean operations, modeling, and all that good stuff. So these buildings here, every time I select a collection of assets, or actors in this case, I just should at least put them in a folder or something. Building 2, nice. And then you can press Ctrl G to group them. Fall damage 0. Yeah, there's 0 fall damage. He's a stealthy boy with the logo, Unreal logo. So if you hold Ctrl, right click and left click, you can move objects that are selected without the need to move your mouse and select them. Sometimes you need that if they're outside the view. So let's say this building, it can go here, and this building can go away. Just for now. If you have many objects like this, the easiest way to select them is to hold Alt, Control, click. You're gonna have a marquee selection in the 3D viewport. And usually to check my selection, for me, I hide selection, and I can check there seem to be 2 objects from the backside that were not selected, and I can select them. And I can right click, move to new folder, and call it building 3 at this point. And then right click, select all descendants, and then I can press Ctrl G, so it will be easy to select them in the future. Or at least in this current blockout phase. Because this is a big mess. OCD is not happy. but who cares? You gotta block out stuff sometimes. And let's see, how does this look? Yeah, it looks interesting. So the way I'm doing this, I am simply hiding and unhiding objects, deciding if I want to keep some of them or delete some of them. And those I'm keeping, if you press like, so this is an object, here's something to be aware of when we are 3D modeling. Because objects in Unreal like mostly are using the same object and then we scale up and down and move things around. When you want to change an object, in most scenarios to be safe, if you go to X form, click on duplicate and then click on accept, this will make a new copy of this, new duplicate, a unique object, and then you can go to model and do, or just simply do whatever you want. In my case, I just want to not delete it, just move it here. And if I want to snap it here exactly, I press Ctrl and it will snap either to the vertex or to the surface. If you hover the mouse over the surface or the vertex or the surface, click accept. And every now and then in the modeling tools as well, if you're using these, creating objects and whatnot, we are used to pressing Ctrl S. But here's a PSA, public service announcement. Press Ctrl Shift S as many times as possible and always look here, make sure that your meshes are always saved, because if you're editing a mesh that's duplicated billion times around the scene and you spend some time having fun and then you do some sort of operation to this mesh and it like you modify it or something, well, if the engine crashes, everything is gonna disappear. And you can tell from my voice that happened many times. So always press Ctrl Shift S when you are using the modeling mode in Unreal to create and modify objects. Since we brought the buildings here, let's quickly talk about the tools we have in the modeling mode. So to enable this, and it's enabled in most templates you choose, but if you don't have it, if you go to plugins and you search for modeling without the N and the H at the end, modeling tools editor mode, it's in beta. So enable it and restart the engine, then press Shift 5. That's mostly the shortcut for this, for the modeling editor mode. You're gonna see your favorite tools at the start and then different categories for different operations and functions. And we can start with create. So to create objects, actors, we go here and we have variety of things we can make, and there are cool improvements in 5.4. You're gonna see them. We have the primitive objects like a box, sphere. There is another type of sphere. Actually, when you create a sphere, there is multiple types of spheres. So we're gonna talk about that in a moment. Actually, let's talk about it now. Why not? We created a sphere, right? To create a sphere or almost any object, you click and then you move your mouse around in the viewport to place it. So click and this will be placed. Then you can change the radius, or before you place it also you can change these settings. You can change the subdivision type. If we press Alt 2 to view the wireframe, look the difference between box and lat long. So the pole here, the corner, like this is like box sphere. You can tell from the edges here. So pick your favorite sphere and then click on accept. If you want to modify the sphere, well, you need to click again and modify the settings you want to modify. Once the asset is created, if you press Ctrl B, it's gonna be next to your level. There is gonna be a folder called generated, and inside it there is gonna be like based on the username and then the meshes you have generated, and this is our latest mesh. And if you go to edit project settings, go to all the way down to plugins, and you can find the geometry cache, geometry modeling mode. Yeah, modeling mode. You can change that behavior if you want, like different type of folder or different type of things. You can explore these. So extra settings here, just so you know. Okay, so let's press Shift 5 again, go to box and start again. From the output type, we have multiple types. We have the static mesh, which is an object, like it's an Unreal asset. When you created this, we saw the asset here. We have a volume. It's literally a volume. So once we create this, it's gonna be like turned into a volume. Press G, okay? And then we have the dynamic mesh. And this has to do more with geometry scripting, but when you create this, this is not an asset. This is like some sort of code in the background, C++ or something, utilizing the geometry script to create this. So if you press Ctrl B, you're not gonna find this. Now, why this is here or why this is, like, what is dynamic mesh? Let's keep it for future, okay? It's very cool what you can make with the dynamic mesh. We've seen, like, for example, with the geometry mode and dynamic mesh. These are dynamic meshes. This is very cool. Whoop, press on the handle, move it up, just like we're used to. Yeah. So, box, static mesh, volume, dynamic mesh. Under that, we have the shape. I've been like creating shapes to sculpt with, have fun with, so that's why you have the subdivisions. So now if I create that box and if you click accept, look at this. This is massive. So this is not the default 100%. Be careful with the subdivisions. You have the width, the depth, and the height. And if you click, I'm gonna click again just so I can see it here and I can always move it or offset it from here. And yeah, let's do. So change the width. Don't crash, please. Actually, before I change anything, I should change the subdivisions, put them to 1 instead of 100. So you press Alt left mouse button to orbit around the objects and right mouse button to zoom in and out. This will be helpful when you are working with objects like this. So, whoop, or press F, but sometimes it's not enough. If you want to add subdivisions to your object, you can do that from here. So let's say we want 4 or 5 subdivisions for the height. And if we isolate, well, it's kind of hard to isolate our mesh, but click accept and look at that. We have a beautiful box with beautiful subdivisions. We also have few more options that are important when we are creating static meshes in Unreal Engine, and these are the poly group mode. There are multiple modes here. And what are these exactly? The box we've created, this one, it has a default option of per face, okay? Now I'm going to click and per shape, and we're gonna create another box and change it to per quad. Let's click accept, and for these settings, there is the positioning on screen or on the ground plane. It doesn't matter where you put this, it will always go to ground. There is origin, like the 000, and on screen is the best. Pivot location, base, or at the top, or centered. So play with these, play with all the settings you see. Material, you can obviously assign material before you put the object. If you don't like this material, for example, we can find this material, copy the name. And I made a tutorial, it's on YouTube in the videos, I think the latest video about how you can get this material. Check it out. Let me just double check. I believe I did a couple of days ago. Yeah, the geometry tools and geometry script. This one, the little devlog. If you want to know how to get access to these and to have like the same material I'm using now, that tutorial, I'm gonna put a link in the description once I paste the beautiful material name. So click, and now we can change. Okay, let's go back to the main topic. We were talking about the creation method. And before I forget, so this don't stay on my mind, I'm gonna make the video for you guys. The creation method, if we go to this, default cube we created at the start and go now to model, poly group edit, you're gonna see each face have a group, and you can select that group and move it or manipulate it or do whatever you prefer, okay? Now, this object here had a different creation method, polygroup mode. It had per shape, okay? And the last one had per quad. So this one per shape, the main difference we're gonna see is that we cannot select a single face. We can only select the whole shape, and if you move it, it's gonna move the whole shape. And this might happen to you a lot when you import an object. Many objects actually have they don't have polygroups by default. This is an alternative to polygons in DCC applications, because in DCC applications like Cinema 4D or 3ds Max, we have polygons, but in Unreal Engine, we don't have polygons, we have triangles. Therefore, we cannot have polygons because it's using the GPU. So polygroups kind of replace polygons, kind of. They are the same concept. So some objects simply does not have polygroups. I'm gonna show you how we can make the polygroups. And now, yeah, let's be sad and click accept because we cannot edit any face. I used, yeah, click accept. Now this guy, if you remember, this guy here, this gentleman, this box, it has 4 height subdivisions, right? But where are the rest of the faces? When we go now to the model mode and go to poly edit, oh wait, I need to change it. This is not the guy. Box, we've created per face, it was. And now it's pretty self-explanatory, per face and per quad, right? Thank you, sir. This guy ruined it. Get out of here. So this guy, if we double check, it's per face, and now we go to model, poly group edit, and oh yeah, where is the face? This there are multiple quads here, multiple triangles, sorry, and loops and stuff. So why can we not select them? What is this? Right? It's annoying. Well, come back, sir. This guy or this guy, it was created, and the same goes for all these guys as best as possible. Now, once we are in the modeling mode, we so far discussed create. Now let's go to model. This is where you find poly group edit, and you need to select an actor to activate this, a static mesh. Now, as you can see, for each face, triangle, loop, now we have a face. And you can perform operations like extrude and bevel. Whoa, what's up? Yeah, bevel. So you can select, before I do bevel, let's actually cancel the bevel. You can, there are filter selections and whatnot, so you can only select the edges, or you can only select the vertices and whatnot, and so on. So go back here. I think that's about it for the basics of creating objects. So sphere, cylinder, cone, torus, they all have the same concepts. These are 2D objects here, the rectangle and the desk. So the rectangle, if you create one, let's put it 5 by 5, and let's put it per quad, and then click on accept. And let's go now to model, poly group edit. You can select faces, but don't forget to turn off the filter. So let's select the face. You can select these guys, and then we can extrude. And then we can extrude again. And let's say I want to extrude now these two. We can do that. And I can press Ctrl to snap on specific places. And something to know when we are either extruding or moving things around, notice that it's kind of snapping, right? That's because I have the snap size, and there are, I believe, options for it somewhere here. But by default, depending on your snap size, you can move your objects. So now I set it to 500 units, and now every 500 units I can extrude this. And that's a lot in the language of units. Click accept. And yeah, so these are things we can do with the rectangle. The disk is the disk, or disk. We can talk about it if you want. What do you think, chat? Is it disk or disk? We have also the stairs, and the stairs is interesting. You have linear, floating without the box behind it, curved, and the same as well, spiral. And you can set the number of steps, stairway to heaven, the width, the height, and other cool options. So I'm gonna set like this 15 units or 15 centimeters. The inner radius, and the same for the creation mode, polygroup mode, per face, per quad, per shape. Click accept. You also have cube grid. When you enable this, you can you see here the highlight of the grid, so I can click and drag and it shows me the dimensions. So 1500 by 1500. Release. I've created my grid now, and oh, sorry. Let's click on pull. Now I can select this part only, and I can click on pull again. Let's say I want this part, well, to have like some sort of thickness, so I can pull. And the same here. And let's say I want this to be the opposite, so we can push, push. And it's like Minecraft, but on steroids, because it's Unreal Engine. I don't want to get into all the settings. I leave that fun stuff for you. I just showing you around how to get comfortable, so we can slide back the grid to create stuff next to it. You can slide forward to say, oh, that was a mistake, and let's push. And kerner mode, let's remember what this was. It's been a while since I used this guy. I remember it took me also a while to understand it. Let's click done. And let's test it one more time. We don't want to spend too much time on it. So let's pull. And let's click kerner mode. It's kind of hard to select as well. Oh, you're playing Minecraft, hell yeah. My man. So I really can't remember how I made this work in the past. I remember getting frustrated with it. It took me like 15 good minutes or something, but it might be me. I'm sure it's me. So this is just an offset. Whoop, sorry, orientation. I can look up the documents, but I'm too lazy. Okay, done. Thank you. If I click on accept and start new, this baked my mesh here, so I cannot modify this anymore. Let's click accept. Whoop, I deleted my mesh by mistake, but that's okay. The other options we have extrude path, and this is cool. I use it sometimes for some of these roads. You can see like they're here real quick. So if I, oh, sorry. By the way, when you are creating a path or revolve, you can press Ctrl and then click on any surface and it will create that path for you on that surface. So that's one. Now, once you're happy, you can either close the path or click on the final point and then move left and right, then up and down to set the thickness and the height. Once you're happy, you can click on extrude. And if you're not happy, I remember we used to have some options, but let me double check. Oh wow. How did that happen? Okay. So we have the, yeah, I'm looking for rounded corners. So I'm gonna click again, okay? And once I'm happy, I'm gonna click, and now I'm gonna set the thickness like this. And once again, I can set the corners, how round they are. This is the final option, and you can enable it from here. And again, I got bamboozled. It was creating from 2D per 2.5D perspective, so it's okay. But check this out. This is very cool. We also have revolve path, and this will be centered always at the center of the location. But again, if you want to change where these objects would will be created, just press Ctrl and click somewhere, and it will be created in that place. So let's say this is a nice park, right? I'm trying to create a park here, and I want this to be a water thingy. I forgot the name. So I'm gonna click, and I'm gonna try to get creative. So we're gonna click here, slow the camera first, click, click. Is this like, this looks like more like a cannon. I'm trying. So let's say I made a mistake. What happens? Can press backspace? No. Right click? No. Ctrl Z. Yeah, you can press Ctrl Z. I think I'm gonna press Ctrl Z a couple of times. And save myself from this little problem I made. All right. So let's say you're happy with it. Click accept. There were other settings I didn't click on, but we've made this real quick. It's not the best, but you get the idea. So let's try again. So revolve path. Press Ctrl where you want to create it. It will remember your last option. And let's try again. So I remember I've seen in the geometry script where you can set your own splines and they will have smoothness. So the thing about these, they are totally, I forgot the name for it, but you cannot, beveling this is kind of not very intuitive. You cannot do it from here. So there are other advanced ways or tools you can create or wait for updates, but we're gonna talk about all these cool things as we go. Because I'm gonna make that tool. I want to learn it. I've been learning some geometry script. I love it. So let's say this. You know what would be cool as a tray? Like just really quick test. If we bring the water Just type water. And that's not cool. Let's type pool. No. Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's create a plane. So Shift 5 to create a rectangle. Let's make sure it doesn't have settings we don't want it to have. And then, wow, that's massive, by the way. Well, it's okay. More water, more fun. So here is a little tip. Let's say you don't want to move this here and like, oh, by the way, this is not cool. We need a disk. But I'm gonna still, yeah, let's do the same tip with the disk. So I'm gonna make this just large. Let's say you don't want to move this manually as much as possible because it's kind of annoying. And maybe this object, it was there, right? So you press Ctrl X and you go to your object. Sorry, the camera is too fast. And then you click where you want to paste the object, right click, or set a shortcut for it. I always talk about this as one of my favorite shortcuts, and it's paste here. My shortcut for this is Shift V. Yeah, fountain. Thank you. So paste here, and there we go. Abdussalam Fountain, my man. Thank you so much. Man, my brain needs food. I'm thinking about food before I go to stream, and I thought, bro, you should eat. It's okay. Look at this nice fountain we made in 3 seconds. 5. And then we make a duplicate. It's okay. Let's change. Give me something blue. So we know it's like water and stuff. And let's put it here. Take this, press Ctrl G, right click all of them, move them to a folder, and copy fountain from Abdussalam from the chat on YouTube and paste it. Ctrl V, easy peasy. Abdussalam, how are you, man? How's your evening? Have you been making lots of fountains? So what was next? We spoke about revolve path, extrude path. Now we need to talk about extrude polygon and draw spline. Let's just talk about draw spline because it's simple. I don't want to expand on this, but this is one of the new additions here, and it makes drawing splines really easy. So click and you simply click for the click and click and drag for the click and drag for the curvy spline. And you can use this later for the camera path, for whatever you want. You can use it for modeling, for arranging objects. We can discuss this in future. And next we have extrude polygon. And let's say you want to create some sort of slightly unique object in terms of shape, like this one here. Let's say I don't want to create a box and modify it. I want a corner building as a block out. That's why we can use, or we have a polygon extrude. So I can click here and make like a big, why it's so big? Ctrl Z. So I can click here. And once I'm happy, actually let's click here, yeah. I can do this. And now let's say I want to do a building on top of it. But let's double check it's not drawing on the floor. So let's go extrude polygon and the draw mode. So actually we have these, we have draw modes. We have the freehand exactly what I did. Then we have shapes, like rounded rectangle, like this. You have a circle, which is the basic click and drag, and rectangle, rounded rectangle. I'm gonna repeat this again. So you click, drag the spline, click again, drag the distance, the width, length, whatever you can call it. Click again to decide the height, the extrusion. So that's cool as well. Click delete if you are not happy with it. We're talking here, so let's say polygon extrude. I want again the freehand, and let's do this. No, wait. Snap to edges, snap to vertices. I was looking for an option that would create on top of the object, and there is something about self intersections. We can discuss it real quick if you want to use this stuff, where you can do this and extrudes. But if you don't have the self intersections on, if you do that again, it will just simply close the spline for you. So that's the difference. Delete this, delete this. I'm gonna discuss the rest of the objects as we go. What I want to do now is to take 2 minutes rest, take a look at the chat, answer any of your questions. Oh, hello, Winbush. What up, my man? It's good to see you. So, cheers, Winbush. I'm drinking coffee. I hope you're enjoying the start of your weekend. Is it morning on your end? If it's not tomorrow. I'm glad to hear that, Abdus Salam. I hope it always goes great. Let's press the view. I love your videos, Wimbush. Every day, I'm waiting for the new tutorials. Your consistency is amazing. All right, let's take a look at what we have here. We want to attempt creating a very simple block out with what we just learned. And I kind of have two candidates. Let's put the rest on the side. I want only 2 votes. Which one do you go with? Up or down? As an attempt. Block out. And we're gonna set a timer 15 minutes for it. Once we decide, we can run the timer to block out. I think if I want to think for myself, I love this one. And I always find it interesting. This one is kind of like, look at me, I'm a nice tall building. But I like these bridges between. This one can be done in like 3 seconds. Let's do it real quick. So let's warm up with this guy. Takes more than 3 seconds. So I don't want to go the exact shape, or would I? It has these. Yeah, actually, let's try how I would block this out. Would I draw it? Or you know, like what always anyone says, it's a good idea to start with a rectangle. So let's set that rectangle. Let's isolate our selection. So the way I did this, like, actually, let's just let me do it. And then we can, so press Ctrl in the middle. it's kind of hard to work and teach at the same time, but I will do my best because I have the timer running. Okay, so let's go to mesh. Let's go to, we want to add a cut. So polygroup edit. Or why add a cut when we simply need one subdivision, but on the other side? And then I'm thinking multiple ways to create this shape. So I'm gonna try this one first. So press, select the vertex. Move it up, select this one, move it like this, and then we need our human scale mannequin, or we don't need him yet, no. Let's just make it big. And let's inset the face, so polygroup edit, select this face, inset. We will see to what extent. Actually, we don't want to inset, we want to extrude first. And then we want to inset. And then we want to click on accept, but before we do that, we can go to shape edits, insert edge loop, and let's add one here, and let's add one here, and let's, why not, click done, click these two again, and let's remove them. So decompose, it will just delete, like, oh wait, it triangulated them, but we need to disconnect them, and then we need to delete these faces, because when we want to apply subdivision modifier, we don't want that to be from below, we just want it on the edge here from the top. So because now, since we are in the shape modeling, the subdivide can be found here. Click, and if you're happy, you can click accept. If you're not happy, you can say like, yo, I'm not happy, and change these settings. So you have the subdivision level, the scheme, the algorithm. I kind of never change these, keep them where they are. Maybe level, hey, this is too much, so let's set it to 1. Nah, this is too little, set it to 2. The shape is kind of cool, but 3 because high polygons, let's go. No, don't do it. Now, let's say you're not happy with the shape, that's fine. Just press Ctrl Shift S everything, because if the engine crashes, you will never be happy, you'll be less happy. Then go to deform, lattice, and increase the resolution on the, in this case, if you look at the corner, if you don't know which axis you want to increase, and sometimes even me, I don't know, because I look here and like there's something annoying blocking this view, but it's the axis. So in this case, we want on the y-axis, so let's set like 5. Get out of here. So in this case, we want the x-axis, press 5. Did it work? Yeah, it worked. So press 5. And for this guy, press 3. And actually, we need only 3 as well. I can press here, select all the vertices. First, I want to start with the little scale. Wow, relax. Just a little scale. And this is not the default behavior. Let me set everything to the default. The default scale is supposed to do this. It's kind of worse. What I'm trying to say, let me change. Okay, look when I change the lattice grid. The interpolation method is what matters here. The default is set to linear, but you may want to change this to cubic. And this will allow you to have more organic shapes if you're conceptualizing architectural buildings, let's say, or just whatever you're making. And instead of like breaks, hard edges, it will look cool. So let's press Ctrl Z. I kind of like this. Press Ctrl Z. We can do it all over again. It's okay. And let's do what we wanted to do here. So we wanted to make this slightly bigger. So let's select these parts and make them just slightly bigger. And let's disable the scale. Click on the Z if we can click on it. We can. Okay. Now I want to select this and move it in. And I want to move these. Select these, press shift to select multiple, then move them outside like this. And I want to make this harder as an edge, so I'm gonna select these three and move them like this. And yeah, the reason I wanted to make this bigger is because I want, let's make it bigger. Let's do another lattice. Move it like this. And we kind of are getting the shape. If you spend more time on it, you can definitely get it, that's for sure. Let's select these. So we're changing this between, like, make it slightly more follows its shape. So before, after, for these two parts. Yeah. And let's say you want this shape. What's amazing about Unreal, you're happy with this, you just simply do this. But before we do that, because we want it in the exact middle, and let's say you're not happy with the place of the pivot, because we changed the shape, what we can do to be happy is go to deform, Xform, sorry, and I believe this is the only object, it's very unique, there is not any similar object, right? I believe yes. So in this case, we don't click on duplicate, because just make it a habit. If you change something, I'm gonna show you actually. So let's say you forgot to duplicate a mesh and you decide, hey, it's I wanna do this. I want to make this like this. And maybe, right? Well, yeah, happy accidents can happen, but really, wow, this is actually nice. Here's a screenshot for good memories. And then press Ctrl Z. And the thing about Ctrl Z, sometimes, and this, depending on your mesh, it might crash. So be careful. That's why remember to press on duplicate in the Xform. So to create new objects, always to bake rotation and scale, like I forgot its name in the Blender. Assign, apply, transform, all that good stuff from Xform. And for 3ds Max users, this is also home for you. So go to edit pivot and select the box positions on the button, and this will set it in the center button or any place you like. Click accept and move this up, move this down. This is because, you know, simple blockout, that's fine. And we said we need to bring a human scale model, so let's bring one. Hey bro, can you come with me? Ctrl X. Stand here, please. Alright, stay. Okay, come here. Okay, stay. Let's make it bigger. Oh, where is it, bro? Here he is. He's fine. So let's make this slightly... Oh, just slightly bigger. And yeah, let's change the textures on this. I don't want textures actually, I just simply want white material so I don't get distracted. Okay, so enable rotation snapping. And we can do the same stuff around so it has like this nice. Let me use this as a guide. So I'm gonna go to create and I will go to extrude polygon. And then I will simply mirror it. Okay. Oops, I cannot switch back to, or can I? Oh, no, I can't. So click anywhere. Once you think you're happy, click accept and let's see what is the surprise we have. Oh, this is supposed to be a floor. So go to model, select it and just move it where it should be. Let's give it material and let's move. What happened here? Who are you? Yeah. When we switch, let's go back to wireframe. So I wanted to select this object and I want to mirror it. And it will mirror around this gizmo. Mesh. Model. Mirror. Now we have options here. The preset mirror and direction, so left, right, up and down. So if you've seen it like this, it's not the correct, so choose one of these and it will be solved, kind of. Then move this to mirror it. So in this case, it was this. And if you want to, or like rotate this, you can get interesting shapes. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. That's an interesting shape. It looks like from Star Wars shape or something. Click accept once you're happy and let's rotate this a little. Put our buildings here. Press Ctrl, select the buildings, or press Ctrl Alt, select, no, Ctrl Alt Shift in the orthographic. What is? No, just Alt. In the orthographic view, just Alt. It's different from non-orthographic view. So press End on the keyboard to snap these to the floor, but it will also snap the supposedly ceiling. So select them and move them up again. Let's take a look here. What do we have? So we have these things and we have these things and we have, I don't care about these. Let's just add the building stuff. We can add the other later. But for this, I wanted actually to do something. Just, I know I said I don't care, but honestly I care. I'm just chilling with you guys. Okay, let's bevel this. Bevel, where is it? And let's increase this like 800. Really? Get out of here. Okay, yes. Click accept. Then let's select this guy and let's bevel. Yeah, it's okay. Click accept. Oh, what happened? I think I clicked on something not good. So let's do it again. Click Shift to add to your selection. So I'm holding Shift now and I'm clicking. Oh, we finished our 16 minutes, but that's okay. Now let's bevel. You know why that's okay? It's because my excuse, I'm teaching. Yeah, now it's good. So let's go to the tab view, go to create. Let's create a torus. Do we need a torus or do we need a cylinder? I think we need a cylinder. So let's Shift 5, click on cylinder. But I'm thinking multiple options. Actually, let's go to disk, okay? Disk is the best because it's easy just to do this, right? And let's say like these are here, but I don't want them here. I want to add our little twist. I want them here, like go like this, like from the center of the building, right? I want them to be impressive. So let's bring a fellow human scale model, put him on the side. So like the way I do blockouts. So look at him, he's like a little ant. He's so cute. Paste here, Shift V, use my shortcut. Let's say this is cool, or maybe it's too far. It should be in the middle. Like this could be the edge. Where do I want the edge? So now, if this is exactly in the middle, and we can ensure this is exactly in the middle, like not eyeballed, because actually there used to be tools about that. Because there is no way that is simple. Let's not stress. How I would do it? I would do it by merging objects and then copying their y-axis after I put it in the center, but I don't want to do that. So let's make a duplicate and let's make this smaller and let's set it. Yeah, so let's say this much. Yo, Munir, what's up? How's it going? Sorry about the coffee noise. So let's extrude the polygon. So click model, polygon, click the face, and click on extrude. And it will extrude both. In this case, we are fine with it. We need both. Then we will just extrude this more. Select it with this, and you guessed it, we're gonna do a Boolean. So let's do that. Select both objects, and since you are in the model mode, you can click on Boolean and check that out. You have nice path. You can click on subdivide to subdivide it. Now it's a donut, but you need to add support loops and whatnot. So we will do that later. Now, I just simply want... Actually, I want to keep that texture, but I want to make it other color. Yeah. What about the wall textures of these guys? They are nice. And what about the glass? The glass texture is amazing, by the way. Okay. Yes, in Blender it's 10 times easier. 3ds Max align here. I have seen some geometry nodes tools about centering objects, and I've seen in 5.4 the motion graphics mode, it has some centering tools. I didn't check it out yet, but we may have access to that and we just don't know. And I'm speaking for myself. I'm gonna find it. Not now. When I work, sometimes I like to make backups, and there is a little thing I wanted to do just as a test. So I'm gonna duplicate this so we don't affect the other meshes. If I make another copy, yeah, I think I'm gonna try doing first. I want the same Boolean to happen, so when I want the cut to happen, we want for this to be mirrored. So we're gonna make another duplicate and we're gonna click on mirror. So we go to model, mirror, we change to down, and then we move it up like this. And let's say I'm looking at this, right? Let's say this is enough. What I was thinking about is I want to copy the location, paste it twice, maybe made it slightly bigger. Select this and this. First, we need to merge them. So let's go to create, Xform, merge. Before we merge, let's make a backup because it was nice as a backup. And now select these two and click on merge as a new object. So I'm clicking accept and fast, and I'm gonna make like a detailed YouTube tutorial going through every single or like more good stuff. But what I recommend again, as you go through these, go through them a couple of times, and then you're gonna learn the behavior of the modeling mode. And once you do, it really gets really easy to work with. And I'm not saying outsource all your 3D work here instead of Blender or 3ds Max, but what I'm saying, hey, try these tools, especially the UVs tools and like the mesh fixing tools, because they are nice. If you change like the extent, wow, and we do this, and then we do this, and let's do some jitter, and now we don't have a building anymore. So click cancel, and now we have these two objects. They are combined together and they've created a new object. That's great. And you can also make a backup of that if you want. Actually, no need, because when we Boolean stuff, it's fine. But we need to make a backup of this. So select this and this, go to deform, nope, model, Boolean, and now we have this. And my trick to have like the same effect here is to select this guy and paste the location of the original skyscraper, and then scale it on the X and Y down like this. And yeah, we can like go to the details as much as we want or not, but it's really up to you. Now, what I like to do usually in these scenarios, if I'm not sure of like the scale of my details, is again, where is our trusted fellow human mannequin? Sir, where are you at? There you are. What are you doing? Come here. So we stay here. I know it's a little risky, it's windy. We bring this item, we paste it, and then we copy the location and paste it, and then scale it, and then you can add it like a decoration item. So you can get creative. Like, this is all just for a block out. For me, ultimately, what I want these buildings for is when I am here in this space that I'm building, and it will have interior elements and whatnot, is to see like really nice buildings from outside. And you may have seen, it's coming, a new tutorial on the texture graph. This is the soonest coming tutorial. It should be tomorrow maximum, hopefully. We're gonna ask Deep. It's very amazing stuff. What's happening in 5.4? The texture graph, the motion graphics mode, the geometry updates, like so many great updates are in the engine now, and it's just getting better. So this is basically with the... Sorry, I'm drinking coffee. I need to stay hydrated because I talk a lot. But you can create these directly inside the engine and export them. And it's like Substance Painter. It's amazing. By the way, Abdul Salam, thank you so much for the tips, buddy, about Blender. Do you use Blender, by the way? How many of you guys use Blender? And how many uses 3ds Max or other tools? So I think this is a nice building now. Oh. You can play with the colors later. Or we can add a fake ceiling effect. I need to change all the materials later, but I like this reflective effect. It helps me with the modeling. Now, easiest way to replace this is to select these objects. Make sure we've selected everything, and the way I do it, whether in 3ds Max, Blender or Unreal, is hide and unhide selection to ensure what's up. Now, I'm gonna make a copy and I will merge all these together. So go Xform and merge them and click yes. And now they're one mesh. And these two, so if you compare this mesh to this mesh, this has the pivot like at the bottom and this one does not. So what we need to do is to edit the pivot and set it at the bottom and then copy the location and the rotation from these guys to our little tower. So something is off, but that's okay, because apparently it was the rotation. So here is one. Copy the location from the other tower. Move this here. Before we paste it, let's rotate it 180 degrees, and then we can paste the location. And now we can hide these temporarily. Select these two, move them outside. Perhaps keep just one. Keep the original. Yeah, there is no original rule. Yeah. And here, select these guys and move them below like this. Select these two. Put these where they could be. Maybe this is too large, make it smaller. And let's make these less ugly. So let's go to model, polygroup edit, insert edge loop, and let's add a few edge loops. So let's add one here, support loops as you know, one here, one here. Done. Accept, or no need to click accept, but it's okay. Select these two guys, then insert. You move your mouse left and right or up and down to control this. It's actually from like a specific point on screen, so you want to keep it close depending on how much like curve you want. Once we apply the sub D modifier, now we apply the sub D modifier. So click accept, and since these objects are instances, it has been also applied on the rest of the objects. So they are less junky than before. There's still some junkiness. I need to double check why that is. I think it's because of the Boolean. That's okay. It's not the perfect mesh, but at least the edges look nice for the light. And let's just double check. So we have the box, sphere, cylinder, cone, arrow, and these two. So from the cylinder, we don't have... What about this guy? Okay. The reason I like to click here because I don't want every time I move my mouse. Okay, this could work, actually. If you want to quickly replace or compare two objects like so, you can hide them, then copy the location, paste it, then scale up. Yeah, this is definitely much bigger. It looks so much cooler. And I wonder what geometry operations we can do for this, but let's bring back the old stuff and let's press on delete. Let's actually take the material from this so we can assign it on the black materials here and here. And I'm gonna show you one more thing. Let's say you want to assign special material, the same floor material on this side, but not on the whole building. And we've created these meshes. They are unique. They're not part of the building. How do we do that? So click on the mesh you want to change, then go to attributes, go to edit materials. You can select the mesh you want to include, so you can change the brush size. And the brush, you have two types. It's a brush or volumetric brush. And sometimes you may need to use this. And you thank me later once you use it. Maybe you have many objects that are separated from each other and you cannot select them with the brush one by one. So with the brush, once you select any object, no need to click anything and it will keep selecting things for you. So if you hold Ctrl, nothing really needed. But if you hold Shift, you can take back what you've added. And notice sometimes it's hard to select these items unless I move the mouse. So if you move this to brush, it will 100% select or deselect stuff for you. But also it may not be what you want, because sometimes with the brush, you just want the upper stuff, not the lower stuff. So you can deselect all. And sometimes I use, you can select something like this, and then I use this, not sometimes, I use this every single time. Flood fill. I click, it will select the object for me, all of it. And I can invert my selection if I want, and so on. So flood fill is very important. We have clear, select all, pretty obvious. Invert is, we just discussed it. Grow, once you do this, and grow your selection. So sometimes this is also important. So clear, click this, and then grow. And it will only select this object. Sometimes, not sometimes, it's useful, right? So once you are happy with your selection, and by the way, these selections, they are the exact same selections as we're gonna see in a moment. So it's useful to learn them. There are many ways to select your faces in Unreal. Like there is the poly mode and there is the triangle mode. This is the triangle mode, and it's also like pretty useful. So here under materials, we have active material. Look here on this object, we have two materials, right? So if you click here, you have two materials. And if you click on the materials, you have two array elements. So if you add another array element, let's just keep that in mind. If you click here, you're gonna see it. Now, once you have your selection selected, the object you want to change its material, the active material, you can assign active material, and this will assign the active material for you. So if this has any material, it will apply it automatically. If it doesn't, it will just keep it for you like this. And you're like, yo, why are you like that? So let's assign this here, and let's assign this here. Hello, Abeda, how are you? Hope you're having a good weekend, my man. All right, so I think that should be it for this building. What I plan on doing later, like these blockouts and whatnot, you may ask, like, what are these? These faces, I can map some of them and assign the textures that I am creating with the texture graph. So I can take these textures. So I'm gonna make a material instance of this at this point, perhaps to modify anything I want. And let's do a quick test. Let's assign it here. And we're not happy with this, so no problem. Shift 5. So this has a world mapping. It doesn't matter if your object has UVs or not. The materials from Lyra. Every normal texture you have, you know, it has like bad UVs. So the UVs, we can either change them now from here, or we can change the mapping from our object. And let's see if we change the mapping from the object. So if you go to UVs, you have project UVs. You can like reproject the UVs, set it to box, for example, and then like set it to 100 by 100 by 100, which is the default, but it will not work for our texture, right? Because our texture is like much bigger than that. So I would not go with this. There is also the UV editor. Actually, I simply open this, select all these guys, and then make them bigger or smaller, depends. So let's do this. And we don't want to pack existing layout, so we have multiple options here. Split, transform. We want to transform, yes. And now you have quick translate, transform to the left, I believe, top right. So I don't want to transform now. Let's do that again. Quick rotate if you want to rotate your textures, and scale. So if you want to scale like to cover bigger space, I think we should go 3 by 3. Click accept, click save, and this is a start. So let's make it bigger. Let's do another transform, and let's make it 5 by 5. It's kind of okay. Let's say we're not happy here, or oh shit. Well, we can fix it either by Ctrl Z or, yeah, I did it with Ctrl Z, but in all cases we need to open the UV editor. So press on Ctrl A to select everything, transform again, and let's do the scale like 2 by 2. Click accept and click save, don't forget. So let's say this is fine. And we definitely need more material IDs. Anyway, I'm gonna open this material instance and let's see if we can make the color look cooler. Perhaps this here can be white material or actually yes. So let's make the materials first look right. Layout UV, some attributes, edit materials. There is something I wanted to discuss again in the attributes. I completely forgot about the poly groups, but click this part, this part, this part, and then click on flood fill. It will select the options for us. Let's create now another material and let's assign the white material to this object like this, because let's say we want sometimes different options to have this. Anyway, set this to your active material and click on assign active. And for material tree, we're using this. So we can simply click and drag. Actually, wait. We're not using this, we're using this. My bad. There we go. Let's click accept. Actually, this is one. That's fine. Let's see what tint will work with us. Just experimenting, and that's the whole purpose. Inverting the colors. Where is our fellow human boy? Yeah, once we get to it, we're gonna talk about it. This is, for now, I think it's fine. I wonder, since we're here, and to wrap up this part, move on to another building. Mesh, create. Let's go to extrude polygon. Yes. Notice when you click on a surface, it can help you track, like, hey, do you want me to draw below it? And there was an option regarding that, but I think it used to be in the old versions of Unreal to like paint on top. Yeah, I don't know. So let's say this. Okay, here's something we have to do at this point. Check the rotation of this object. It's -20. So we need to select everything here, except for you, sir. I'm trying. Is there something to deselect? Nah. Once you select, you cannot deselect. So I'm gonna do it again. So we said -20. Oh, now it's -40. So let's do +40. So now it's set to 0. That's important for me because, nope, bring it back minus whatever this is. It's perfect. So now we select this and we press Shift 5. We go to X form, put it in the bottom. Something is off, right? So here's what you need to do to set it in the correct location here. What we need to do is to bake the transform, and this will also bake the rotation. So let's do that. Click accept. And now this is at 0, not minus 20 anymore. It will also like imagine like when you bake a mesh like this, imaginary box behind it is the bounding, but I need to draw this like, let me focus here. So now let's simply, I need to like connect pen to the screen and draw on it. Anyone have any suggestions like for this kind of interactive stuff? That would be amazing. So I want to change this, and you can change it manually, by the way, and you can press Ctrl if you want to snap it to specific locations, but I think from this view is not snapping, but if I want to snap it, we can definitely do that. So if I want to bring this here, you can bring it. I wonder if there is a way to snap the middle, but I don't think so. Can just eyeball it. To get the exact middle, we should get the bottom like this. And now we can get this. Since we are just dragging the x-axis, you can snap it here if you want to. So now we can apply or do whatever we want on this surface, and later we can mirror everything. Select these two, click on Boolean, and let's keep it as is, but click and move the Boolean. Something like this. Click accept. Click mirror. And you can change the direction of the mirror. So you can put the right, and there is something regarding reposition plane, shift to center. It will position it in the exact center we defined earlier. So this will hopefully save you some time. You know what would be cool? So I'm gonna cancel, Ctrl Z, and I want to do this. Oh, not this. It's too much. So I want to move this to the top. And I was thinking maybe either move it like this. So will it hurt? Because I want like offset but to the outside. All right, let's do it. So click here and try this. So this Z thingy, click and very delicately. So I'm trying to see here, they're both changing at the same time, but let's click on Delta mode. Nope, nothing changes. So let's say this is too much. Sometimes you need to look from the correct view to see what you're looking for, like the specific axes. They are kind of tricky to find sometimes. Otherwise, there is no fun. I know, right? So now click these two, Boolean. This is Boolean B from A. I'm gonna escape. I'm gonna click this first and then this. And then I'm gonna Boolean. And it took B from A. If I want A from B, I'm gonna click on A minus B and click on Boolean. So A minus B, sorry, I want A minus B. So this is A, the big floor. And this is B, the Boolean tool. And now we have a nice shape like this, curve, mayalan in Arabic we say. I'm struggling to find the word sometimes. And if you want to create, but again, that's okay, I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong. So I want to duplicate this face. So click on duplicate, click on that face we've duplicated, and move it up like this. And we want to detach this. And I wonder if there was a way here to detach faces. I'm not sure. So we have disconnect. Click on disconnect. Click accept. It's still one object. So let's try again. Decompose, no. Retriangulate, no. Cut faces. I don't think it's here. The way I do it is instead of poly edit, I go to mesh, triangle select, I select the triangles I want, and I click on flat fill, and then from here there is an option to separate. And then this is now its own separate mesh, and the reason I've done this because I want to assign the water material. So I'm gonna press Ctrl 8 as a quick bookmark on that part of the level so I can be back quick. And press Ctrl C, press 8, press Shift V, paste so I can simply come back here. Press Shift G to delete everything. Take this texture, assign it here, and take this texture, the blue one, assign it here. And then move this here. We need to make it slightly bigger from the center. We can't do that. So press Shift 5, go to X-form, transform, nope, not transform. Center the pivot, click accept. Move it. And now it should be fine. Let's make a duplicate of this pool material, assign it here again. And I wonder if we simply make it bluer like this. It's cooler already. And something about I forgot, opacity. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's... Oh, don't crash. Is this like, hey, enough for today? Because it's been almost 2 hours. So that's enough for today. I feel kind of tired. Well, I hope this is at least saved. If it's not, it's okay. Don't crash, but I know it's gonna crash. Unless we're lucky. Well, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. So thank you so much for being here, all of you. If there is any question you have, this is the time to ask questions. Because I'm gonna drink the coffee and answer your questions. I think Unreal crashed on me. Good guy. Good guy, Unreal. So if anyone wants to show me their work, I'll be posting some screenshots of this project on our Discord server. And if anyone is using the Unreal Engine modeling tools for 3D modeling, especially anything from this mood board or the project that I'm doing that's similar to this city. So show me what you're working on, or show us your work in the Discord server. I'm trying to bring the Discord server here. I'll put a link to join us in the description. We have a channel to show your work in progress. I'll be posting here most of my modeling experiments and what I'm working on. And I wanted to just highlight before I finish the stream as well and take your questions, guys, if there is any, that on the Academy, the videos I mentioned today that they are coming, they are being edited. If you go to vrdivisionacademy.com and go to YouTube Early Access, if you don't have an account, make an account. You put email and your name. And we never spam, so feel free to sign up for all the updates. And you will get access to all the upcoming lessons on YouTube. So what I'm trying to do is to record the lessons, and most of them are nice. There is like not major problems or anything, but I don't feel they can be uploaded to YouTube immediately. So we're doing edit, uploading that on the Academy as early access to anyone who really wants to learn Unreal Engine and serious about getting the latest in what I'm teaching. So there is a video about the texture graph. It was done like 10 days ago. And there are a few Unreal tutorials there. And I feel here, I need to sign in, but next time. It's a good place to put in the description of the video information related to the lesson, instead of like what you usually put on YouTube, like links to social media and whatnot that you see everywhere and every time. So we're trying to build the Academy as your place to learn Unreal Engine, especially in architecture, and Unreal as a tool to visualize architecture, digital twins, and just make art if you enjoy making art. That's also that. Yeah. So join us on the Academy, join us on Discord, and if you enjoyed today's stream, let me know in the comments. And thank you. Now time for questions. Wow, no questions. So I think everyone is enjoying their weekend and it's just us here having fun with the 3D modeling. So all of you guys, enjoy the weekend. You have the rest of it. There is still tomorrow. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be here tomorrow. I'll do my best, but enjoy it. And thank you for being here today. So have a wonderful evening if you're watching this in the evening, and a wonderful day if you're watching this in the morning. I'm drinking coffee now in the evening, so it's 11 p.m., but cheers for those day and night. Thank you, guys. Let's do this. Nice. Bye-bye.